Hello everyone, my name is Jameson Chase Young and this is Coins in History. We're going to be talking about the 1885 Philadelphia Morgan silver dollar first, but stick around for the end because in the second half of the video we'll be talking about the Servant Girl Annihilator, kind of the United States' own Jack the Ripper. So please stick around for that, but first, the 1885 Philadelphia Morgan silver dollar. I obviously love the Philadelphias, or I obviously love the Morgan silver dollars. I say that every video, but you know, the mid-80s, it's a special time period, you know. The Wild West was kind of winding down, and these are really special coins. The Morgan silver dollars that were made in 1885, mine anyway, have kind of a special tarnish on them. At least that's my own opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, like all my Morgan silver dollars from 1885 are like really cool looking because they tarnish just perfectly. But anyway, the 1885s, you know, all Morgan silver dollars are really cool coins and really great coins. And the 1885s, you know, they represent a really special time in American history, kind of like I said, the winding down of the Wild West. And this particular, the 1885 Philadelphia Mint, it minted 17,787,930. It is the most common out of all of the Morgan silver dollars. The New Orleans Mint minted 9,185,000. The San Francisco Mint minted 1,497,000. And then the Carson City is by far the most highly prized because it had a very low mintage. It minted 228,000. And, you know, the Morgan silver dollar, its composition is 90% silver, 10% copper. It weighs 26.73 grams. The silver content within it is 0.77344 troy ounces of silver. Its diameter is 38.1 millimeters. And its thickness is 2.4 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, and its designer is George T. Morgan, and he used the model Anna Willis Williams in order to create the front. And yeah, it was the 1885 Philadelphia Morgan silver dollars that were being minted when the Servant Girl Annihilator. A lot of people haven't heard about this serial murderer. He's not really the first serial killer in the United States. And then obviously, you know, we had those Wild West type serial killers, but he was one of the first documented like serial killers, like stereotypical Jeffrey Dahmer type serial killers. You know, how he hunted down his people. He wasn't like Billy the Kid, you know, gunfighting people. He was one of the first like modern day documented serial killers, and he operated in Austin, Texas from 1884 through 1885. Now, he killed his first victim in like December 30th, 1884. So just a couple days before 1885, and then he killed a total of 8. 5 black women, 2 white women, and a black man. Plus, he also wounded 8 others. All of the victims were attacked indoors while sleeping in their beds. 5 of the women were dragged unconscious but still alive. They were dragged outside and killed outside. 3 of the women were severely mutilated while outdoors. And yeah, he operated in Austin, Texas during 1885. And for the most part, they think that he was like, they think he probably was a black person or maybe mixed race because he was able to operate, you know, in the black community so easily. At that time, you know, if there was a white person walking around the black neighborhoods, that person would stand out like crazy. But yeah, anyway, he killed people very stereotypical serial killer style. You know, he beat them and stabbed them to death. And 6 out of 7 of the women had objects inserted into their ears. So just like a lot of serial killers, you know, he had his like rituals, or, you know, he'd have his way that he'd stage the body and kill the body and mutilate the body. Some people, no real clear evidence, but there are some people who think that maybe him and Jack the Ripper were the same guy. Now that's not real evidence. Actually, the real evidence points towards this kid named Nathan Elgin. Nathan Elgin, because like, when some of the evidence they had against the Servant Girl Annihilator was they had footprints, and the footprint showed that this guy was missing a toe. And then Nathan Elgin, a 19-year-old young black man, he was missing a toe also, and he got shot by police for attacking a woman. And all of a sudden, that's when exactly the murderers stopped. So, you know, back then they didn't have DNA evidence. They didn't have fingerprints. So it was just kind of like speculation that, you know, either Nathan Elgin was the bad guy, or like they said, it was around that same time that they started setting up like vigilant groups to patrol the neighborhoods and stuff. So there is a chance that maybe the murderer left and went somewhere else. But Nathan Elgin's their primary candidate. But yeah, anyway, the victims were Molly Smith, 25, Clara Strand, and Christian Martinson. Those two were Swedish girl servants. Elisa Shelley, Irene Cross, Clara Dick, Mary Ramey, Gracie Vance, Susan Hancock, and Alua Phillips. Most of the eyewitnesses died. The other eyewitnesses, it was really dark. He did apparently, he attacked women and men, but he did leave some of the children alone. He left all the children alone. He had never attacked the children, and it was some of the kids that were able to give an account of the guy. But even their accounts with other people's accounts were a little bit mixed. That's why I say they don't really know if he was white, mixed race, or black. But they kind of assume he was black. Not only did that what some of the eyewitnesses said, but how easy he was able to operate within the black community. And then those two white women that he murdered, they originally, their husbands were they were kind of looked at as possible suspects. One actually went to court, but the court case eventually got thrown out because the evidence just didn't line up, and it pointed more towards the Servant Girl Annihilator. But anyway, that is what was going on in Austin, Texas. The United States' very own Jack the Ripper, one of the United States' very first modern day stereotypical serial murderer, was operating in 1885 Austin, Texas, when this Philadelphia 1885 Morgan silver dollar was being minted. So, very horrible event, very tragic event, but a very interesting time period in history, and a very amazing coin, that 1885 Philadelphia Morgan silver dollar. So I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope you like these videos. If you do enjoy the videos, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. My name's Jameson Chase Young. This is Coins in History. Thank you for watching.